Probably, right?
No, NFL Monday night games don't start until 10.
All right, we on now? Hey, hey, look. Welcome to another very special episode of Cheap Shots. And Luther is super pissed at Micah. Do I have that right?
You're fucking being irritating right now.
You're mad at me. You're mad at me.
Dude, because you're fucking clueless at times. And you're like, hi, apparently.
I wish. But you know what? I do have several things I want to talk to you about tonight, Luther. Can you believe that?
No, not really.
Okay. I want to start first with I watched something. Yeah, it's on. I watched something that I thought. I wonder if Luther knows this. Do you remember the Michael Jordan flu game?
Oh,
Because
no.
I know you're a huge Jordan fan. You're not a Bulls fan.
I don't remember that one.
Don't be a butthead. I mean, you're being a butthead.
I mean, that's.
I know you're a Hornets fan.
That's Michael Jordan doesn't play for the Hornets, and the flu game was the playoffs, Bulls against the Jazz. But
Right.
I mean,
You know he didn't have the flu.
dude, who doesn't know that he was just sick? I mean, he was sick.
Okay, so then we won't talk about it, Luther.
What
Is
wait,
that common? Is that common knowledge?
did you think this was a revelation?
I don't know. I watched a Facebook video, so that means I'm smart.
Well, clearly. No, that's not
Do you
that's
know why?
not,
Do you know why he was sick?
no one really knows why he was
It
sick.
was food
He
poisoning.
probably had food poisoning.
Yeah, he ordered pizza, and he was the only one to eat the pizza. And
Yes, that's
I mean, we all know that he wasn't feeling well, but they made it sound like he had the flu.
well, food poisoning could mimic flu symptoms. So they thought he had the flu. He probably was fucking hungover. Like, who knows? I mean,
Oh, that could have been too, and then they made up a story.
I
Because
mean,
when you're ordering pizza at 2 a.m., you may or may not be drinking.
or you could be Michael Jordan. The stories about him and his not sleeping and not resting and able to play with no rest, and he'll play 2 fucking rounds of golf and walk
Is
in.
that true? He didn't sleep. Is that
They said he didn't need sleep. They said,
everybody needs sleep?
those Olympic, well, whatever you, if you want to be technical, those Olympic guys said he would immediately go play golf for hours, come back on time for practice and destroy people, do it again, destroy people, do it again, destroy people in the games. They're like, when does this guy sleep? He plays cards all night. He works hard. Obviously, they talk about him being up at whatever time in the morning to lift, shoot, all that. But they said he's a guy who I can't function with no.
I might believe. Honestly, I might believe that. Like he's that kind of person.
Yeah, they said he is not. He's a guy who could. It doesn't bother him, which is, I mean, some people are geniuses, and he's like a basketball genius. And when you're a genius, God gives you gifts. That could be one of the gifts. Like, yeah, I've heard.
Okay, so the other thing this video said that I was watching, it was like about NBA myths and whatever. It's probably BS. Who cares? But they kind of made a good point. One of the myths was that Jordan retiring after the second three-peat.
Are we going down this whole?
Yes, because we have nothing else to talk about, Luther. So stop it. And you're a huge Jordan fan, so stop. But What was him piecing out? The end of it? They kind of
The,
made a good point. It
the
was
end of
probably
what?
the end of it.
The end of what?
Whether he left or not, it was probably over.
What was probably over?
The dynasty. Because a lot of people have said that, well, when Jordan left, it ended the dynasty. But the dynasty was probably over, Luther.
I'm a little bit confused.
That's one of the myths. That's one of the NBA myths is that.
Dude, so you went down a rabbit hole in one of these crazy Facebook videos. You do realize
I believe every Facebook
that
video
they won
that I
3
see.
championships when he came back?
No, I know. But one of the theories is that it ruined the Bulls dynasty when he left. And they were like, nah, if you look at all the numbers and the stats, Pippen was done. Jordan was no good anymore.
What are you
Rodman played 35 games after.
Are you talking about Micah? You're talking about after these numbers. You're talking about is after the second three-peat.
Yes. But there's some people there's a lot of people that think that when Jordan was like pieced out, that killed it, and their argument was that it was probably done anyway.
You've got the retirements mixed up, dude. He pieced out after the first three-peat when his father got killed.
No, duh.
After the second three-peat, Jerry Krause said he's not re-signing Pippen, and he's breaking up the team regardless.
Right. But there's a lot of people that think that was the breaking up of the a dynasty.
Micah, that was the breaking up of the dynasty. It didn't have anything to do with Jordan retiring. The GM said
no, not just that. Rodman only played 35 more games. Pippen, he got way too much money to go to the Portland Trailblazers.
No, he didn't. He was really good, and Portland blew it against.
Please,
okay, you're not.
Look at his numbers, Luther.
You're not really going to argue basketball with me. I'm sorry. When Pippen
you saying I'm dumb because I'm white?
When Pippen went to the Blazers, they were a blown fourth quarter away from sending the Lakers home. They had a double-digit lead, and Pippen was the leader.
Okay. And Sean Kemp, who I'm a huge Sean Kemp fan. He was worth like $14 million. So come on.
Micah? What are you talking about? Seriously.
I'm saying Portland wasn't. They were whatever.
What does Sean Kemp have to do with that?
Portland was whatever, Luther, and you know it.
No, I don't, Micah. You don't know what you're talking about right now.
Okay, so fine.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You don't know what you're talking about right now.
My point was, I don't think getting rid of Pippen and getting rid of Jordan blew up a dynasty. I don't think it would have happened, is my point. I don't think they were going to be good. I really don't. Do you?
Dude.
After 98, Luther, after 98, that's a long time. They were great for a long time. Do you really think they would have continued to be great?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
I don't know about that. I really don't. I don't think that's true.
Okay.
But you're a Jordan Homer guy, so
I mean, okay, sure.
All right.
I'm sorry. They won 6 championships in the 6 years the team was together, and so but the next year they weren't going to be good.
I don't think it was.
That's reasonable. That's reasonable.
I hear you. I don't think they were heading in the right direction. Not out of any fault of anyone.
What direction do you want to go to?
They're all getting older, Luther.
When you win 6 championships in 8 years, you're in the right direction. to restart. If your GMs, I want to build a team on my own because I didn't draft Jordan, and I want to build my own team, and I decide to start over, that's a horrible decision. That's the reason the team broke up, because Krause wanted to build his own team.
And Jordan hated Krause.
And that's why the team broke up. Krause came there after the team drafted Jordan. He came the next year. He wanted to prove he could build a team on his own. And so he decided, I'm not re-signing Phil Jackson. He said it before the season even started.
Probably a big mistake.
Regardless of what happens in this year, I'm not bringing Phil back. And Michael had already said, if Phil's not back, I'm going to go ahead and retire. I'm not rebuilding. I'm not bringing Phil back. I don't want to play Scotty. And okay, so what are you going to do now? I'm going to try to rebuild a team, and he didn't do a good job. So
not at all.
That had nothing to do with Michael retiring. He forced Michael out.
It's part of it. I mean,
no, it's not.
Tom Brady.
Michael retired because he said he wasn't bringing back Phil. And Mike's already said, he said he's not being part of a rebuilding team. We just won 3 championships. Why should I stay here for a rebuild? I'm 100 years old.
Luther, I'm not blaming Michael Jordan. I just think that people that thought that, boy, this dynasty could have kept going on. I don't think that was true.
Let's talk about football.
No, I want to talk about something else with you, actually.
No, I don't know if we should talk about anything other than this week's football.
We're going to.
The Eagles didn't lose this week.
We're going to.
The Eagles didn't lose this week. We can talk about football.
I have another question about you, and this is personal. I love the look on your face. I really do. It's not bad. It's honestly an honest question. Because I was talking to a couple of friends about this. So personally, for me, I don't give myself credit for anything, but I was an incredible tennis player in South Jersey. I was. And when I got to Boston University, I played tennis for 2 days. And that second day, when it was time, and I was like, I'm done. And that was a big deal for me. I can't tell you how many years playing tennis. So I thought, well, I'm nobody, whatever. What's it like? You were a professional football player. You played 5 years. That was your living. What was that day like, Luther? Because you hit that day. What was the day when you were like, whether it was your decision or not? What was that day like? When you had to say, I'm done. It's over. Did you know? Was it a single day?
It wasn't a single day. It comes over time when you realize, one, that you play football in the National Football League and you love it anymore. You'll also get hurt. You'll get hurt out there on that field because this is the living for all the people out there. It started to suck because I was on a 1-15 team. We won the first game and lost 15.
2001 with the Panthers.
And I absolutely despised playing for a coach who was historically one of the greatest, George Seifert. He was
shit. You're right.
He was not real fun to play for, and we sucked. And the team
was he a douchebag?
It wasn't the guys liked each other, right? But you could tell that there was a lot of disdain for George, even people in the building. George was arrogant, aloof. He was too good for everybody. He got a
I,
huge.
I I didn't know he was that big of a prick.
Oh, he was a huge prick. It just seemed like no one liked him other than John Marshall, and that was the defensive coordinator he brought with him. I listen. I'm not going to say any coach said anything outwardly, but overtly you could see the disdain for George Seifert, and they were happy to pay him his whatever millions to leave when they fired him, and they hired John Fox, and they took that squad to the Super Bowl. But to your point, I was like my body was starting to. I couldn't. I was a guy who, in my
But you
hands.
you went to preseason with the
So,
Bears and the Packers. Like you weren't done with the Panthers.
well, I'm gonna finish what I'm saying.
All right.
Uh, my hamstrings were starting to just be gummy, and I was supposed to be a guy who could run. I could no longer run. I just couldn't run like I used to, and you could almost tell like I'm gonna have to transform myself. I'm not a blocker, but I'm gonna have to be able to try to block. And I didn't feel it. I wanted, and then I rededicated myself the off season to getting my legs right, getting my hamstrings right, and I had hurt myself during the season, early in that season, and I should have had surgery early in the season, and I wanted to play it out. I'm a backup. I like, dude, you need to play it out, and so you can show some film and latch on.
You were behind Leslie Walls.
And my shoulder was busted. I was behind Wes. Wes was healthy the whole year, so I didn't get to play much.
It was a great tight end, by the way.
I had surgery on my shoulder after the season, signed with the Bears, and it was done. Like I was ready to go, but I got to Chicago and I don't know, like I couldn't make that team because there wasn't a competition. Every team I played on the off season, you got reps. You got reps. People split reps. When I got to Chicago, the off season under Dick Geron, and they were coming off of I think a 13-3 season. It was repped.
Yeah. Oh, one. You're right. You're right. You're right.
It was repped like the season. The starters got 8 plays. The backups got about 2 plays in the drill. I called my agent and I said, I can't make this team. They've already got their depth chart set. And he was like, what are you talking about? I said, dude, I didn't sweat today at practice. And he laughed and he was like, you need to work harder. And I said, no, Mike, I got like 4 reps today in practice. He was like, what, a preseason practice? I said, dude, we rep it like the regular season. It's like the starters are already set. And at that point, I was like, I'm gonna bust my ass and try to make this team. But I was thinking, there's no way I'm making this team. They've got their guys. And it's not like I was a superstar. I wasn't above and beyond anyone. But I was like, I don't think I'm gonna make this team. I think this depth chart seems to be set in the way they handle it. And look, I got cut. It's like shit. I got cut. And then I was done playing football. You mentioned Green Bay, but I was done, dude. I was done. I wasn't working out. I was.
Is that the day you felt it?
I was trying to find a job, and then I was going through a split with my ex, and my agent called me. My agent was Mike McCartney, and Mike said, "Lou, Green Bay called me about you," and I was like, dude, I haven't played football in a year. And he's like, you want to go work out?
Was
like,
this 04?
No, this isn't 04. This is 03. So right before Wesley Wall signed with them. So he said, dude, they've had a rash of injuries at the tight end position. And they know you've been in the West Coast offense your whole career. And I went there and worked out and they signed me. But it was done. like once that done with I was done. I was like, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not going to someone else's camp. I'm done playing. I'm no longer as fast. I'm not going to go here and try to make a team because I don't think I can play anymore. And if it's in my own brain, I'm sure it shows on the field. And I was done. I'm like, I'm not. I need to get a job. I've always been a student my entire life. I was like, dude, I'm going back to grad school and I'm getting me a gig. I'm
Well,
not.
you thought that in '97 when you were the fourth tight end.
No, yeah, well, no, I thought that in '97 when Gruden treated me like shit. There's a difference. He didn't
So,
instill any
so
confidence.
what was your thought process when you were like, "I'm done"? Were you
My,
okay with it? Were you at peace with it?
well, I'm going through it right now. So once that happened, I told Mike, I was like, dude, I'm done. I was like, it's not like many calls are going to come anyways, but I was like, dude, I'm done. My body's, no, I'm not the same. I need to get on with my life. I need to get a gig and do what I got to do. I got a child. I was divorced or going through a divorce. I'm like, I got a child. I got to move on. I'm a college grad. I can go get a graduate degree and move on with my life. And at that point, I was done. I know guys who couldn't give it up. Like football was everything. And if they couldn't play football, they were losing it. They were like, they had to play football. And I wasn't that guy. Without football, one thing I want to do without was the camaraderie. The guys in the locker room is what I really miss. And that's a lot of guys. Do I miss getting paid six figures to play football? Yeah, who doesn't, right?
Right.
But that wasn't it, man. I'm not going to lie. That wasn't it. I love getting paid to play football, but that wasn't it. And I love the locker room. In Philadelphia, that team, I knew that team was going places just because they were building talent. They had just drafted Donovan. They already had defense. But that team, that locker room was like glue. That team, that was a team we had. Like people liked each other. We did dumb shit together. We played stupid games before practice. Guys liked each other. They genuinely liked each other, and we were a together team. I knew that team was going places. That was a team. That's what I missed. I didn't. I know this sounds all cliche-esque or whatnot. I miss getting paid. Who doesn't? I work every day. I need to earn a living. Right. I didn't miss getting paid to play football. I miss the camaraderie of the locker room. I had done it my entire life. I played a team sport my entire life. I miss being on a team sport. Ever since I was 13, 14, I was on a team sport. 12. I played, obviously, JV basketball. I was on a team sport. You go in and it's a team. You do stuff together. You'll have your guys who you're tighter with, but just everything is a team because you've got 11 guys on that field, and everybody can do their stuff right. The quarterback can be prepared to throw a beauty. The wide receiver runs the best route and he's wide open. If the left tackle misses his block, the play is over.
Right.
The quarterback is beat. Well, if the left tackle makes a great block and the whole O-line does his thing and the receiver gets wide open and the quarterback throws a shitty ball, the play is over regardless of everybody else doing a great job. And you can go down the line, each position. If one person missteps, the entire play is done. Sometimes you can overcome it. Sometimes you can overcome that, but sometimes there's the one person and they don't do it purposely. People make mistakes throughout the game, and people will lose their mind if a kicker misses an easy kick. but they don't know
where a
that
receiver drops a
earlier in the
pass.
game,
It's like you didn't do it on purpose.
they see the drop
One
pass,
second, I'm going to power my computer up. Sorry.
but they don't see the guard missing the easy block or the protection.
Right.
So that's a big miss for me. That's a huge miss for me, is being on a team sport.
Sorry, hold on. Jesus God. Hold on 1 second.
Every week we have technical difficulties from me.
Really? That won't reach? All right, let's figure this out.
What are you doing?
What a great podcast when your computer's going to run out of power.
Well,
here we go. But I really do appreciate you telling that, because I remember talking to a mutual friend of ours, Sean Landetta, about in 2004, he was with the Rams, and he was like, I was averaging my career average, and he's not one to bitch, but they couldn't cover a punt to save their life, and they blamed him for it. And he was still cracking it. And he ended up, I don't know if you remember, he ended up playing with the Eagles in 2005. And he actually had a game against the Arizona Cardinals where he kicked 10 punts and averaged 51 yards a kick. That's a huge deal in 2005. And then it was like, well, you're 44 years old, and that's what the league said. And that it got me thinking, and it was something I wanted to talk to you about. What was that last day like? Like,
I don't.
He could still play. He could still play, but you're too old. You're 44 years old.
I didn't have that situation, and I don't remember my.
No,
life.
it's different, and that's why I wanted to ask you.
In my 20s, and I had an understanding of the NFL. A lot of people just don't. They think it lasts forever. I knew at some point somebody could be at my door. I could be done after year 2. And I was prepared almost mentally.
Well, you told me you could have been done after year 1. You were a 4th tight end, and nobody keeps 4 tight ends.
Yeah, I was a 4th tight end, and 4th tight end. I went to Furman. Like then, I was from some juggernaut college, and it was. It was. I mean, it is what it is. You have to have an understanding, and so.
No, and I get it. I just happened to be talking to a friend of mine about dude, I was a tennis player at a crap D1 school. Well, not hockey. They were great at hockey. And I remember that day where it was like, you're done, dude. This is it. And I thought about you, and I thought about Sean, who's a friend of ours. And I thought, what's that like when this is your job, this is your career, this is everything to you, and all of a sudden one day, like it could, and like you said, it could be for any reason. It could be they don't want you. It could be you're done. It could be you're hurt. It could be anything.
Right. It could be anything.
But what's that day like? That hell, man. It was a big deal for me.
Yeah,
and I'm nobody. I'm not playing pro tennis. Jesus Christ. But whatever. Yeah. I mean,
I mean, you've got to dude, you got to have your things in perspective. You got to have a mindset where you realize you know you did everything you can, and you put 100% into it, and you're happy with what you left out.
And one day it's over.
Because one day it's going to be over, and if you're not, there thinking about it and regretting life. And I wasn't doing that. I wasn't sitting there thinking I screwed up, or there's some things I wish I could have done. I wish I could have played for a winner. I wish I could have won a Super Bowl. I wish I could have done this. I wish I was in better shape.
All right, I'll
Every
ask you that, Luther. I'll ask you
year.
that. Does it really bother you that you didn't win a Super Bowl?
So so I would love to finish this thought process. So,
I'm sorry.
So it was there are some things like I wish I did. Like I said, I didn't come into camp out of shape, but after I got done, I wish I was in better shape. If on a scale of 1 to 10, if I was at a 10, I wish I had done it to an 11. I wish I had studied more under the coaches and got a better relationship and stayed like on a staff. There are some things that I wish I had done, right? But I don't have regrets. Like they're two different. I don't regret stuff. I wish I could have done some things better. I don't regret any of the decisions I've made. Do I wish I had waited around and maybe signed with the Patriots that year when I signed with the Panthers and we went 1-10? Sure, the Patriots won a 15. The Patriots won the Super Bowl that year. So to finish that thought process off, one of the biggest things that I really wish I had was a championship team. I never played for a championship team in my entire fucking career. We didn't win a division in college.
You got a little bit close in 2000.
You didn't win a division in the NFC East or the NFC. And we did not win a Super Bowl, obviously. I didn't have a single championship in my career. That blows for me personally.
Is that something you think about?
Oh, yeah. I wish I was like I won in basketball. That was a long time ago, but I won. I hate the fact that I did not win anything in the NFL. It sucks. It sucks. That sucks. I don't have regrets. I just wish I had one of those. I wish I had a ring from one of those teams for something. I enjoyed the hell out of the Eagles 2017 Super Bowl. I enjoyed that so much. I went to the parade. I celebrated they let us.
We got your picture of kissing the
sitting
Lombardi.
in the front row, kissing the Lombardi, all that stuff. I enjoyed the hell out of that, dude. Because
I'll ask you this: Did you enjoy your time in the NFL?
I enjoyed my time in the NFL. I made a lot of friends and a lot of connections. And the NFL is like one big fraternity. Like guys were pretty cool. Guys would look out for each other. You go to another city, you call a guy, and the guy will be like, dude, don't go here, don't go here. We're doing this tonight. Be careful in this area. Don't hang out with these chicks. This girl is nuts. Like it was stuff like that. Like, dude, she will steal your wallet. Like, stuff like that. I know that sounds crazy, but
no, I believe it.
There was a lot going on in the female department. Guys were naive and young. And you have, say, for example, and I'm probably have mentioned his name before, Troy Vincent. Troy was like, we would call him.
We had him on the original Cheap Shots show,
right? And we would call him Old Man for fun, right? Because Troy was always like our uncle. Troy would look out for us. Troy would be like, "Look here, you got to do this, this, and this. You got to take care of your bodies. You can't be doing that." He wouldn't tell us.
He was a rookie in '93. But
he was a veteran, and he was well respected, and he would talk to us like men, but he would try to teach us stuff. He taught us stuff. Not everyone is receptive of things, but Troy was so respectful, and I really wanted to hear what he had to say. Mm-hmm. I wanted to hear what he had to say. He was a smart guy. He was a really good football player. And
Yeah.
especially me and Rashard Cook, I was really good friends with Rashard, and we would call Troy old man.
He laid the wood.
Because Troy was a good guy, and he would be like, nah, you don't want to do this, you do this, take care of your bodies, get in that cold tub, dude, stretch, quit fooling around on Thursday nights, and leave these girls alone. You gotta focus on, just not that we were just whoring around. Like, he would just have advice because he had seen it. Some guys don't want to
young
hear
guys,
that, and some guys don't. They don't feel like it's their place. He wasn't shoving anything on us. We wanted to hear it. We wanted to seek his advice anyways. I am not bothered by people I'm not seeking advice from. I about your opinion. I'm not seeking. I know that you failed third grade twice. Like, I'm not seeking advice from you. I'm seeking advice.
that shot at me because I didn't fail third grade.
Well, fourth, whatever. Who sought advice from, and he wasn't the only one, but he comes to mind because he stood out to me. He stood out to me.
Well, him, Hugh, Bobby, there was a lot of them.
Like, those guys, like, dude, I mean, I still talk to those dudes, man. I'll text Hugh every now and then and give him shit because Hugh was like a fun guy. He had the locker room. Hugh had the locker room on fire game day, right? But I'll text Hugh and I'll be like, because he lives in the Atlanta area, and
Yeah,
if
he's
I'm
in Atlanta.
I'll text and be like, dude, I'm about 2 hours away. I'm gonna whip your ass as soon as I get in town. Like, I just talk shit. And he will snap back at you, and he'll be like, what are you doing? Give me a call. Let's do this. Or if you have time. Like, that's Hugh. Hugh is that guy, right?
Bobby. We had Hugh on our original Cheap Shots show. Yep.
Shots, right. Yeah.
He told us the ESPN story.
You're right, Bobby. Like, Bobby is the coolest freaking guy. And I vibe with Bobby over basketball. Bobby is a hooper. Bobby played some.
He's a big dude.
Yeah, he played some at Notre Dame. Bobby's a hooper.
And did he play for Notre Dame?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Bobby's an athlete. But that guy, that's a guy I got along with too. And it was fun because those guys were DBs. And I always thought I was some type of good receiver. So when I'm on scout team, I'm trying to actually do well against them. So, and it was Bobby, Troy, Al Harris.
Al Harris was a hell of a player, man.
Oh gosh, what's our kick returner's name? Goodness, Rossum, Alan Rossum.
Alan Rossum.
All those guys in
was a very good player.
And if you're doing 7-on-7 drills with those guys, dude, you're gonna get yourself a workout because Brian Dawkins was over there too, running like the wind, right? So that was that team. I love that team, dude.
They probably beat your ass up a little bit, Luther. I don't think Bobby was nice.
Listen, I'm not gonna say I'm some great player or what the hell ever. I held my own.
Dude, you're a pro athlete.
But pro athletes, I still know my limitations, right? I held my own some against those guys, but those guys were really good. Really good.
They were really, really. That was the best secondary the Eagles have had in a long time.
Guys, that's when I thought I could play. Like, I'm like, okay, I can play. Like, these dudes are good, so I might be able to make a living in this league. I might be able to play, but they'll also give your ass humility too when you can't catch one in a drill.
And that crew was really. I mean, look, right after you was Lito and Sheldon and Dawkins, obviously. Great secondary. That one was better. That one was better.
We went from Troy, Bobby, and Al Harris.
That was a good time for the Eagles secondary.
I mean, come on. That was sick.
So you know what, and we'll close out the show with this because we both have good ones. When you were talking about we were talking about like you and I can look at other teams and be like, well, I hate Michael Irvin, whatever it is, but as a player, you don't you were talking about players as colleagues. You're all cool. Like it's yeah.
I mean,
I might play with you one day. I don't really hate you.
Right. There's some guys that didn't like each other. Some guys like legitimately didn't like each other.
Strahan.
If they ran into, but Strahan and John, like they
eventually became good friends.
Almost hated each other on the field, kind of almost, but they respected each other. Some guys hated each other to the point where if I see you in Vegas, I'm getting into a fight. Like, really, dude? Like,
oh, okay. So my question, Luther, when remember when the Eagles played the Giants in like 99, 2000, 2001, every time it was Strahan and Runyon.
Yeah.
Did they really hate each other?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know.
Because they became friends.
I think he was like, did his Hall of Fame thingamajig, didn't he?
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah.
So I know they battled, dude.
Because I as a typical media fan, whatever, I met Strahan in 2000, and I made a joke to him. He shook my hand. I was like, "Hey, Michael, what's up?" And I had a ton of respect for him. And I want you to tell your Strahan story too with the TV show. I said, "Hey, Michael, take it easy on Runyon, man." And he looked at me and he was dead serious, Luther. He was dead serious. He looked at me and goes, "No. And I was like, that's awesome that he legitimately hates Runyon and the Eagles. He hates the Eagles. I don't know if he still does.
Of course, he should hate the Eagles.
But we think that and we want that. We do. We think that and we want that. But Luther, the players don't care the way fans do. They just don't, and that's okay.
Dude,
but he did. He really did, and I was like, "That's freaking awesome."
Micah, that's not entirely true. When we played, I fucking hated them.
Who?
The NFC East teams. I hated
all
them.
All of them.
I hated them. I hated the Cardinals. I hated them. I mean, I wasn't going to fight a guy if I saw him at the club. I hated them. It's not only the fans, dude. I hated them.
Okay, so there's truth to the fact that
some
players hate the rivals.
I hated them, dude. Let me tell you, when I was a free agent, I did not want the Cowboys to want to sign me because I wasn't some huge free agent and no one was calling me.
Okay.
But
do you believe Hollis Thomas's story that he wouldn't sign with the Cowboys?
Yeah.
Is that true?
I believe him.
Do you really?
I believe him.
No, I trust you. I'm just asking.
Listen, tight end, bro. A backup tight end. My options were limited. I wanted anybody to call me, right? At some point, I need to sign with the team.
Right.
I was hoping it wasn't Dallas. I was hoping that one team wasn't Dallas.
But you knew you would have.
I would have signed.
It's a paycheck, bro. I wouldn't have yelled at you.
Quick. I would have signed so quick.
So you would have done it.
Fuck yeah. This money is green. The Cowboys, I would have had a star in my living room. Like, shit. Dude, I would have been there, Washington, New York. Like, shoot. I'm no fool. You know, there are plenty of guys who get drafted by teams they didn't grow up liking.
Well,
You
at this
know,
point, it's a job. It's not about who you
at
like.
this point, it's a job, dude. You go into facilities, and I'm not thinking about some stupid fan base. I'm thinking, shit, I better learn
Luther,
these.
you're breaking Zach's heart, our producer.
Zach, look, and I would have broke my bank too. Dude, I was out of a job, Zach. I'm sorry. I would have went and then actually wore green underwear or something, but I would have signed with the Cowboys.
Well, can you do something else for us, Luther? Will you tell your Michael Strahan story?
Oh, so of course you know Michael Strahan is a host, a TV host, and
Is it Michael and Kelly or something like that, or is it Brian and Kelly now?
Sarah. It was Michael and
Yeah,
Sarah.
he's going into
It was
space now. He's going into space this week.
Yeah, he's like a superstar.
He is. He good on him, man. Good on him, bro.
Yeah, he's good at what he does too. And so I get there, and I was, you
got to Strahan and Kelly.
I took Zanetta to New York for her birthday, her 40th.
Yeah.
So we had, going to the Today Show, Strahan Show, and something else. So we get there, and that day they were doing cute videos of kids and whatnot, right? So we get there, and they asked us if we had videos. And of course, Cam, my son, likes basketball, and this was a few years ago, so he was a lot smaller then. And he would do James Harden's step back move. He would try to do it, and he's like, but he travels every time, right? So I had it on video because we were laughing at him. So I sent them the video, like we were in the studio, and they said, hey, if you have videos, shoot it over with your name, and we'll take a look at them. This is all happening during, right before the taping. And of course, I sent mine, and they chose mine. And we get up there, and Michael was, and they were like, Michael, here's a guy you might know a little bit about. And he was like, man, when I saw that name, I knew it looked familiar. And I was like, yeah, right. You remember the backup tight end from the Eagles from whatever years ago. And he was like, no, I do remember because we kicked that butt so many times, right? And it was hilarious. So we had a banter literally on the show, on air. And it was real.
You can probably YouTube it. But didn't he say he whooped your ass?
YouTube. But let me tell you, and I think anybody this, Michael is guys. If you ever met Michael Strahan, he's a superstar, but he's one of the guys. He's not going to be like, dude, who are you? Get out of my face. Like, he's the guy who was like, what's up?
Nobody talks shit to you, right?
Right. You want to take a picture? Let me try. Or he'll say, oh, we used to kick that ass. That's cool. Some guys are like, whatever, who are you? Get out of my face.
But it's all good fun. It's all good.
Right. Oh, absolutely a good fun. And he's right. They used to kick our ass. Michael, they beat us so many times in a row. I hated them.
3 times in 1 year.
I hated them so much. And my dad's a Giant fan. And I'm like, dude, I'm not giving you tickets to the damn game for you to root for the Giants. But more power to him, dude. That dude won multiple Super Bowls, got the NFL sack record. I'm a fan of the guy.
Kind of.
I'm a fan of the guy.
And I think you did tell me that you spoke to him like after the show, and you guys were cool and joked.
Yeah, he was real cool. Like, I was just asking him because he's got twins. I always remember that Strahan had twins. Like, you remember certain things about, and I asked him how the twins, and of course it was a public divorce because he's a star in New York. He was like, yeah, the twins are all grown, Of course, he was like, of course, we got divorced and this, that, and the other. And he was like, I think they were in college at the point because they were older. And he was like, yeah, I live across, I live in Jersey. I think he lives in Jersey. And because I was asking, like, man, you got to get here. So he's like, yeah.
I think he does. Yeah, I think you're right.
super early and this, that, and the other. And I'm gone. He's like, I'm gone. I work, I'm gone because I know I got to be up early. And cool. He was cool. And, he wished my wife a happy birthday. It was cool. And Mike's always cool. He's always a cool guy.
He was super cool to me. And just a side note to that same day, because I was doing some event for whatever, I met Alonzo Mourning. Remember Alonzo Mourning?
Well, Zoe played in Charlotte. I've met Zoe a few times. I met Zoe one year. Was it the Super Bowl in Miami? It was the Super Bowl in Miami. That weekend, we went and hung out, and some really good-looking lady came on the dance floor, and I'm dancing with the lady. And for a good little while, just grooving or whatever, not hitting on the lady. And a few minutes later, some good-looking 6'11" guy comes and gives her a kiss, and I was like, I knew I had seen that lady before. That's Alonzo's wife.
You were dancing with Alonzo's wife?
Yeah, I wasn't grinding on her. I mean,
it's still.
We were dancing. It was at a club, and he gave me like the fist bump or whatever, and I went on about my business. But I've met Alonzo a few times. He's been always cool.
He's an absolute giant, and the day I met Strahan was the day we were doing some event, and they were both there. And Alonzo, by shaking my hand, broke it for 4 years.
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
Luther, I'm not kidding. It's one of the okay. You're a hamstring problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know how every time you think it's healthy and you do something, and it goes back to square one.
It's the worst.
Man, that was my hand for 4 years because I shook Alonzo's hand, and he broke the back of my hand, man. Like
so is a monster.
And I was like, Jesus. And I didn't think much of it. I got to the point where I started shaking people with the left hand. I'm like, you can't. I got to get this healthy, man. I can't do it. Shake my left hand. And I felt like a loser. Like, shake my left hand. But he cracked my freaking hand, man. It was bad. His hands are enormous.
Oh, he's a big dude. He's a big dude, man.
Very big dude. Nice guy. He didn't do it on purpose, but you get a firm handshake from someone that size, and your hand's destroyed for 4 years.
Wow.
Man. Do we? You know what? Let's go over something real quick. Well, let's just change the subject. I'm sure Zach wants to get rid of us, dude.
I want to get rid of me. I'm tired.
I can't stand you, and I hate you, but that's okay, dude. Can we please talk about this for 2 seconds?
About what?
Micah Parsons is one of the best players in all of football, man.
Yeah, I think we talk about this like probably at least.
No, it needs to get.
We talk about this 5 of the last 6 weeks, and I don't.
But then we're gonna keep talking about it. 9.5 sacks in the last 6 games, Luther. He's a game wrecker. And if we're gonna talk about the Eagles, which we do a lot, you blew the Jalen Reagor pick. If you took Justin Jefferson, you wouldn't have taken Devontae Smith, and you could have had Justin Jefferson and Micah Parsons.
Micah.
F you. Eagles.
I think we talk about this.
I'm going to talk about it for the rest of the year.
We already said this like 4 weeks in a row, and I don't
care.
want to anymore because I don't want to talk about the Eagles' fucking draft picks because of this.
I'm going to keep talking about it. This guy's a game wrecker.
Well, we wouldn't have drafted him anyways because we don't draft.
You're right. You're right.
We wouldn't have. We would have drafted a damn safety. We would have drafted some safety from someplace. We wouldn't have
from Liberty University.
Listen. We should have had Micah Parsons because we should have drafted the right wide receiver. But Micah, we wouldn't have drafted him.
I know.
I hate to think about it. we wouldn't have taken Parsons.
You're right. You're exactly right.
We, we
It's
wouldn't.
pie in the sky talk.
But that dude he's insane. He's insane.
Dude, he's
He's
an absolute game wrecker.
he's ridiculous.
They don't even know where he's going to show up.
He's ridiculous, and the Cowboys have him.
I'm excited that I share his name.
And I'm pissed off at Denver because the Cowboys wanted Patrick Surtain.
They wanted Sertan, you're right. And they said, all right, he's
Pat.
gone, and we're going to trade back. And they got a player that's better. I mean, I was watching some Eagles highlights on whatever it was, and the Devontae Smith touchdown against Denver, Sertan was all over him. Still caught it.
That was a great catch. Dude, I don't have a with hold on a second, sorry. I don't have a problem at all with Devontae. Even if he doesn't.
No, that was the pick. That was the pick.
I mean, but
that was the pick.
We were in that situation because of ourselves.
And you know what? And Luther, this isn't just an Eagles thing. When you blow one pick, it affects everything. You blew the Jalen Reagor pick. You didn't get Justin Jefferson. If they had drafted Justin Jefferson, they wouldn't have taken Devontae Smith at all. And that said, Luther, they still need another goddamn wide receiver.
Yep.
Quez Watkins is on the goddamn COVID list. Sorry to swear, Zach. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I don't listen, man. And our picks are getting worse by the week. So that's annoying too. Because the Eagles might be better than we thought. So our pick is going to continue to drop. Miami has decided to go on a run.
Win some games.
Indianapolis
Colts have won a few.
Probably going to get in the playoffs. And I mean, so at least it's still a first round. Well, it's going to be a first rounder. He's played a lot of plays already. So
but I don't care, Luther. That's 3 first-round picks. You can't be cracking those away.
No. I'm saying if the teams aren't going to be good, be bad. don't be middling. Go ahead and suck. Go ahead, Miami, and continue to do what you were doing at the beginning of the year. That's all I'm saying. I'm not complaining
to be functional.
Yeah, I need him to suck. I need somebody to just make a couple bad plays again, game that cost them the game. That's what I want. I don't need. He doesn't have to be like super bad. Just lose the game.
No, I agree, man.
I think we need to end the show.
I know. Look,
because it's 2 minutes from an hour, and your boy has to take a poop.
Zach or you?
Me.
All right. We'll wrap it up there, man. Luther, I had fun with you tonight, even though you were in a bad mood. That's okay.
You caused my bad mood.
I caused your bad mood?
Yes, you were being a dick earlier, but I'm fine now.
I don't think that's true, Zach. Do we have data on that?
No, whatever. Well, tomorrow I'm traveling. I have a cousin who finally got a heart. He was on the transplant list.
Are you serious?
I'm dead ass serious. So I'm
driving. Man, I'm happy for you, man.
Yeah, I'm driving to Duke
More happy for him.
Yeah. I'm driving to Duke University Hospital tomorrow, which I just saw that Furman is playing the Tar Heels tomorrow in basketball. So I'm going to.
Who are you rooting for, Luther?
I'm rooting for Furman. I'm gonna see if I can get a ticket to the game tomorrow since I'm gonna be in town. So tomorrow.
Hey, look, Luther, I can't be more happy for your cousin.
Yeah.
Congrats to him. That's to say it's a huge deal is probably an understatement.
Yeah. It's insane though. Like it's been a while.
Oh man, good for him. Good for him. I apologize that he has to be related to you, but you know what? We all have our battles to go through.
Well, I apologize that your mom is related to you because I'm
You
not.
couldn't get through a goddamn show without mentioning my mother.
I
You know what? They're not
tried.
even here.
I know she
You
is
didn't try. You
upstairs.
didn't try.
She's upstairs waiting on me. So
Wait, we
excuse
didn't. Oh my
me.
god, we didn't even see the Sarah Palin video. We're gonna have to. We'll do it later in the week.
Oh,
We'll do it later in the week. And by the way, for what it's worth, and
I
there's not a
don't want to
chance
hear
in
it.
hell that my ex-girlfriend would watch this show because it's about sports. Let's do it later in the week. I'll even name her. I don't give a shit. I'll give you her address. Uh,
Please don't.
hey, Luther, love you to death, man. For Luther Broughton, I'm Micah Warren. This was actually a fun episode of Cheap Shots. I think that's 2 in a row, Luther.
This was a weird episode. We didn't talk about any particular game.
No one gives a shit. They can watch that on ESPN and NFL Network. Who cares?
Bye, Micah. You're
All right.
retarded.
Hey, love you, bro. We'll be good.